Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 5-minute consultation training. I am so excited to do this training with you today. I actually did this training for Lori Creed's live event. She was asking me, was there something that you looking back can remember that really took your business to the next level? And after thinking about it, I remember when I started implementing this consultation, we got more rebookings, our retention was better, we sold a bunch more product. And the numbers that I can remember, it was a long time ago, but it was me and another gal, and we were selling around $1,500 a month in retail, which at the time I thought was great. And after implementing this consultation, we started selling around $7,000 a month in retail. So a dramatic increase for a really small business. And there's nothing better than when I see that aha moment for these estheticians and spa owners that implement this into your spas. So there's other systems too, like the pre-call I think is great, and the filling out the prescription cards or the product recommendation cards after the facial. So we have a handout. I want you guys to be sure you've printed out the Sorella Apothecary consultation handout. It is on the resources page, and we're going to be using it during the presentation. So if you haven't printed it out, I recommend pausing this, printing it out before we get started. And let's pull up the PowerPoint. Okay, so the 5-minute consultation, what we're going to go over today is how you can easily recommend products to your clients, how you can help more people, and how this is going to greatly increase your income. And if you are doing all of these things, you are going to be doing just fine in this industry, I promise. So grab an order form and a pen. I'm going to be talking about a few products along the way, and there's nothing greater than having some new products that catch your attention that you want to try and recommend to clients. So what is the purpose of a consultation? It's really as simple as drawing out a problem or a concern that your client is having. And when you do this, it doesn't feel salesy at all. I always use the example of there's nothing worse, and I've had this happen to me, where someone recommends a product for, let's say, large pores, and I didn't know I had large pores, and it gave me a huge complex. And so you want to pull out their concerns. And I've had it happen before where, they have really bad breakouts, but they're concerned about their fine lines around their eyes. So really tailoring and customizing the treatment, the home care to their concerns it's going to feel much easier. It's going to flow. You're going to sell more products. You're going to gain their trust. And the estheticians that always did better at my spa were the ones that did this process and took the extra 5 minutes to do a proper consultation. And it's well worth it in the long run. So there's a simple sales model in all industries, whether it's cars, pharmaceuticals, where, sales, you find a problem that they're having and you find a solution. And in our industry, I changed those terms to when you find a concern and you make a recommendation. So if you can change and shift your thinking into this simple formula, it's going to be really easy for you to remember that you're just pulling out concerns and you're just making recommendations, right? You wouldn't want to go to a doctor and have them not recommend what they actually think is proper care for you, right? So it's the same as the esthetician. And I had a girlfriend that we have 4 estheticians at my spa. She saw each of them, and she saw one of them. I said, how was everything? And she's like, it was great, but she just didn't give me any tips or any, recommendations or anything. And I feel like that's why I love your spas, because there's all these little tips and tricks that I learn every time I go. And I gave the esthetician this feedback, and she's since improved. But I think it's a great reminder that people come to us for our expertise. They are coming to us for our recommendations. So never be afraid to recommend, all of these products that you really genuinely think that they can benefit from. So 3 things that I think really make a successful esthetician are when you're confident, when you're genuine, and when you're intuitive. And the genuine is important. I'm not standing up here saying, sell more product, recommend 12 products for every single client, when it's not something you don't genuinely believe they're going to benefit from. I had another esthetician that She was great at treatments. She was a doll. Clients loved her, but she was horrible at selling product. And I know for a fact that a lot of her clients were buying products from Sephora and Amazon and drugstores, Target, and she only sold 2 products, and it was the Daily Greens Moisturizer and the Orangey Jelly Cleanser, and those were the only 2 products that she could use on her skin because they're the only 2 products that she liked to use on her skin. So it was, she really, I think, hurt herself in the long run because a lot of clients, everybody's skin's different, and some of her clients might have, loved the serums and could really benefit from more products in their home care. So being genuine is important, and then being intuitive is also important too, and never judging your clients by your pocketbook. I think that is something that is easy to do. I know I've been guilty of it in the past, but you never know. And I've had multiple times where I've recommended 12 products and they spend over $500 and buy every single product. So it happens all the time, and you never know really what's important to them. So, and confidence is huge. I talk about this all the time, that the difference between 13 years ago, Emily, the esthetician, versus now is really confidence and believing in what I'm offering. And I know now that if I walked into a networking event or walked into a room of 10 ladies, that at least half of them would become my clients, just because of how confident I talk about their products, talk about the treatments, the results. I really get to know their skin and try and customize it to them by using these little tips that we'll talk about in the consultation. So you want to keep it short. I put our little screenshot of our Instagram because everybody's so connected these days to technology, and we're always on the go. There's always so much to do. So you want to keep everything short. If you talk too much, you're going to lose them. And I'm going to give you a simple strategy for recommending products, what you want to say about each product, a few little 2 ingredients and their function and how they're going to solve your client's problem, and that's it. So, you should never be using words like glycation or those technical terms that it's great for estheticians to know, but we don't really need to let clients know. We don't want to get too sciencey with them. We're going to lose them for sure. So it's important to set retail goals, and I love to work backwards. So let's say you want to start with one of my goals, which was $7,000 a month for 2 estheticians. So $3,500 each, which honestly, I know soloists that sell well beyond this. So that's definitely on the low side now. And you want to divide that by the number of clients you see. So if you see 5 clients a day, you work 5 days a week, you're going to work backwards. And that's how much retail you need to sell each month. I wrote product of the day here because that was a huge one for me. Is I would focus on, okay, I have 12 of this SKU. I look through what clients can benefit from this product, which ones have purchased this before. Once you have a regular client base and you see them every 4 weeks, it's very important to remember what they already have. It looks really bad if you recommend the same serum every time they come in and they say, well, I already have that. So you really need to be on your game and do some sort of charting about what products you're recommending, what products went home, what products didn't go home, and following up with that each and every visit. So there's a lot that you really want to prepare for your day for. I always recommend getting there an hour early. It sounds crazy, but you're really going to see a benefit with your retail sales if you come in prepared. And so product of the day is huge, whether it's clients are always wanting something new, especially your regulars. So having something new each and every time they come in, and you don't really need to let them know that it's brand new. Maybe it was on the shelf last time they came in, but you didn't get a chance to talk about it with them. We just got this new in, and it's amazing. It's going to do this, this, and this for your skin. And your sales are going to just skyrocket once you start implementing some of these strategies. So home care regimens, you can use the example of it's all about your home care, your skin health. And if you were to go to the gym twice a day, you were going to be in much better shape than going for an hour once a month for your facial. So it makes up about 70% of your overall skin care health, maybe even more, depending on what treatments they're coming in for. So it's very important, and you need to educate them on the products that they use, and it's very important that they're using the correct products. That's why we have 27 SKUs in our line. If every product was great for every skin type, we would only have 7 SKUs. So it's really important to keep that in mind. And we have amazing product recommendation cards already pre-designed for you. They're super easy to fill out, and you can get them with your marketing incentives on orders over 500. So please take advantage of these cards if you're not already using them. It is a game changer in the retail world. What happens is maybe they won't buy products during that visit, but they'll go home, their skin feels great after their facial, and they come back and purchase them, without fail. I've had it happen numerous times where they'll come back the next day and purchase all of them. So let's dive into the 5-minute consultation. So this first round I'm going to go through, it's going to take a little bit more than 5 minutes because I'm going to explain each question and the thought process behind it. And then we'll go through and I'll do a little role play. I don't have any models today with me, so I'll just do, I'll answer the questions and try and throw some curveballs at you. So question number 1 is, why did you decide to have this facial today? And this is, all of these questions, so you'll notice, are open-ended, so you're not going to get a yes or no answer. And we're going to go over this little cheat sheet at the very end. It's going to be a really nice review, but on the left-hand side, you'll see it says say this. On the right-hand side, it says not this. And what you don't want to say is, do you have any skincare concerns? I cannot tell you, I've probably had, 100 facials where this is what the esthetician says. Normally at resorts, they'll typically do this, or newer estheticians. Do you have any concerns or allergies? And my answer is always no. And they're a little bit stuck. You can't really make a recommendation for an upsell or, an upgraded facial during their next visit. Product recommendations after, I don't really have any concerns. My skin looks great. I love it. And, some people might chime in and say a few concerns, but a lot of people are going to say no. 1, because it's easier. 2, because they want to get this facial started. They know that you're wasting time of the treatment. So I always love to ask, why did you decide to have this facial today? Sometimes they're going to say, oh, I have a gift card, or oh, I'm here for a spa party. And then you might need to ask another inquisitive question and say, oh my gosh, that's so fun. You're having a spa party. I'd love to get to know your skin a little bit better. So if you could tell me 2 concerns you're having with your skin, that way I can customize today's facial and also customize your experience. And maybe we can take a look at your home care and see if there's anything you could be doing at home to help address those concerns as well. So you always want to pull for 2. And sometimes people give you a laundry list. And if they do, that's great, because you have a lot more to customize for them. But let's say they say pigmentation and dehydration. Those are my 2 concerns. So you can refer back to them before you start the treatment. And I usually like to customize the exfoliant and the mask and let them know which one I'm choosing and why. So wonderful. Well, I think we're going to do the cherry pepper peel on you today. It is great for brightening the complexion, evening skin tone. It's going to help even out some of the pigmentation issues that you're concerned about. And then we're going to do the peach and honey mask, which is amazing for dehydration. But if you wanted to, we could upgrade you to the Marine Mermaid mask. It is actually made for dehydration, and it's going to really plump up that epidermis and really give you lasting hydration in the skin, so much so to where, when you smile, you're going to see that epidermis. It really is instantly plumped and hydrated, and it feels amazing. So that's a difference of $20 if you wanted to upgrade. Do you want to take advantage of that? Or do you want to try this mask, or whatever you want to say? So don't miss these opportunities. There's so many opportunities where estheticians can make a lot of extra money. Upgrades is one of them. So always try and upgrade the facial to deliver their concerns. I know I genuinely would love the Marine Mermaid mask more than the peach honey if I'm going in for a facial. And $20 to me is well worth having more results for my skin. I'm already here. And so you need to think of it like that. But a lot of the times the customer really does, want this. They want their results, and they're willing to pay a little bit extra to get their results addressed. So question number 2, have you had a facial before? And most people say yes, but if you say no, it's really a great opportunity to kind of walk them through what's going to happen. Okay, wonderful. Well, we're going to start with a cleanse. And if you use any kind of cleansing modality that beeps or makes weird noises, you kind of want to warn them about this at this point. And we're going to do a nice exfoliation. And then we're going to do some extractions. I'm going to bring the mag lamp over. It's really bright, but I'm going to put some cotton rounds on your eyes. And then we're going to do a really nice face massage, neck, shoulder, back massage. And while we're doing the neck, shoulder, back massage, I'm going to put on that mask. It's going to be really hydrating. And then we'll finish with moisturizer, eye cream, lip product, and an SPF. And then you'll kind of just give them a little bit more direction on, you're gonna lay under this cover. You know, I'm gonna knock before I come in. You can hang your clothes on the hook, put your shoes over here. You know, we could probably write a book about all the funny things that happen in the treatment room. I've had a lady completely naked on top of the covers when I came back in. You know, we've had people with their shoes on still under the covers. So giving them a little bit more direction is important, and it can be really intimidating with your first facial. But the main reason why I have this question in here is not to make them feel bad if they've never had a facial before. It's really to ask them if they've had anything that they love or didn't love in a previous facial. And it's really funny. I would say it's about 50-50 for people that love extractions, 50-50 for people that love a scalp massage versus their feet. I really like my facial to be customized, and nothing's going to make them feel more special than, you know, asking these questions that really make them feel like, you know, they're special, and they feel anything but a number at this point. They don't feel like just your 10 o'clock facial and you're just doing a run-of-the-mill facial that you're doing on everybody else that day. So anything you want me to include or avoid today? Some people kind of shrug their shoulders and say, that's fine. As you come to me monthly, if there's anything that I like, or if you don't want me to do, please don't hesitate to let me know. So you're putting a subliminal message out there into the universe. You know how I love my law of attraction and manifestation. So you're putting it out there that this client is going to come to you monthly. So I love that. Question number 3, do you have any special requests for today's treatment? And a lot of people will shrug their shoulders at this too. And this is a great opportunity to let them know about some of the extras that you offer. Special request, if you haven't had a chance to mention maybe the Marine Mermaid mask as an upgrade. If you offer heated mitts or heated booties, you know, the brow wax. It's a great opportunity to say, well, you need anything wax today. So it can be a monetary special request, or just something that they didn't know that you offered that you can definitely include today. So for example, when it was colder, I would always do the heated booties. People's feet were always so cold. You know, if I knew somebody was stressed and they came in stressed, I would say, well, do you want me to, you know, not do the hand and foot massage, and I can spend extra time on your neck, shoulder, and scalp, or, you know, whatever kind of made them feel special and customized. Question number 4. So I have taken this question off, and honestly, especially as a spa owner and having other estheticians, I can tell you that the number one negative feedback that I've gotten is, oh, well, she was great, but she talked a lot. And I've actually had this happen to me, and it was really the client that was talking the whole time. And I was just kind of answering the questions, trying not to be rude, but they leave the experience thinking that you were the one that was talking the whole time. That was really interesting for me. And I found that in this industry, it's about 50-50 on 50% of the people want to talk during their facials and 50% don't. So I think it's really important to ask this question. And I love to preface it with, I don't normally talk during my facials, but would you like me to let you know what products I'm using on you during your treatment, or we can go over them after? What do you prefer? And I like saying this because I really don't want to talk during the facial. I would much rather let them relax, let them enjoy their experience. But, you know, if they're like that one client, my friend, that was mad that she didn't really get any tips or tricks, she, you know, would probably want to know what the esthetician is using on them. You know, when they say, yes, I want you to let me know what products I'm using on you, I do a little cha-ching in my head, because you're that much more likely to sell the product if you have that opportunity to talk about it. I know that some spas, they don't really give you the option. You have to let them know what product you're using on them. And if that's your strategy, I think that's okay too, especially if you're more of a medical, you know, results-oriented esthetician practice. But, you know, I do think it's important to, if you're at more of a resort location, you know, the talking thing, you can get some negative feedback from it for sure. So if they say yes, you can just keep it quick and short. So, you know, this is our apricot mango cleansing milk. It has vitamin C, it has apricot oil. It is going to be really, really hydrating, but also brightening to your complexion. It is amazing for aging, dry, dehydrated skin. I keep it at that. So 2 ingredients, their function, and how it's going to benefit their skin. If they start talking, which it definitely can prompt conversations, and they'll lean back and say, where are you from? Or how long have you been doing this? I don't answer, and I just say, we can talk after. I really want you to enjoy this time that you've taken for yourself today. And it's a really nice way to redirect the conversation. If you give them that permission to relax, you are going to have a client for life. Because think about it, in our days, they're so busy. We're so crazy with running around and all of these things that we put on our plates, that if somebody's giving us permission to relax for that hour and just kind of enjoy and take everything in, it's pretty powerful. And people will pay a lot of money for that, trust me. So if you can add that element into your experience, you're gonna create raving fans. And then the last question, question number 5, is there anything you want me to know before we start, or anything that might contraindicate your treatment today? And then I always prompt them with allergies, pregnant, nursing, health issues. And this prevents you from asking or having them fill out a 4-page consultation form. I used to use consultation forms, and I found that it was much more personal when I'm asking them these questions versus having them fill out on a form. Do you have any special requests? What are your skincare concerns? And so I liked actually having them. And what I did is I would type out the 5 questions. We have it on our resources page. It's already done for you. And I would put that on a clipboard. And so my estheticians, my newer ones especially, would keep those questions. And it would prompt them, okay, what question is next? And it was a really nice process. And then you could write in the answers if you wanted. One gal laminated it, and she had the little, washable markers. And so she would fill it in, and she would kind of keep it on her trolley. And then she would wipe it off after each client. I thought that was cute. And she would chart her notes in between each treatment. So I thought that was a cute idea, but whatever works for you guys. And I know a lot of our accounts and partners use consultation forms, and I think there's definitely pros to that as well. So whatever works for your guys' spa. Once we charted on the computers, we found that there wasn't really as much of a need for it. And people often ask about liability releases. We had one that you could link up with our software system, and they could check a little box saying, I approve. Now if they booked over the phone, there was a little bit of an issue, but, something to consider. So, and then after the consultation, I love to kind of set this tone and let people know how this experience goes. So I just say, well, wonderful. I'm going to go pull some products so I can customize your facial for today. If they've upgraded, I'm going to make those changes. And I love to say to them, I'm going to knock before I come in. It's a nice touch. I've had treatments where they say, go ahead and knock on the door before you get under the covers. And I thought that was such a nice touch, because there's nothing worse than laying under the bed for 5+ minutes and being like, this is my time. Where is this esthetician? And some estheticians for some reason just think that it takes 10 minutes to get changed. And some clients are fast, some clients are slow. So I thought that was a nice touch that I learned, unfortunately, after I'd already stepped out of the treatment room. But you can do a few knocks on the door, and that will let me know that you're almost ready. I'll give you another minute to get under the covers, and then I'll knock before I come in. So just kind of painting the experience on what's going to happen. And then when I enter back in the room, I dim the lights. I give them a confident little scalp rub, really get in there. And then I change my voice. So I go into Esthetician Emily mode. And I say, is there anything that I can do to help you relax anymore? Yes or no, I make those changes. If anything changes during the treatment, don't hesitate to let me know. And offering this open-ended question, I find that, we have a little card that they fill out, how was your treatment? And we'll get requests on, the music was too loud, or the bed warmer wasn't on, or, just weird things. There's so many opportunities for estheticians to mess up because there's so many different touch points. And I find that if you ask this open-ended question and set the precedence from the beginning, they are much less likely to complain, because you kind of gave them the opportunity to speak up and say, yeah, I would like the bed warmer on, or can you change the music? I love that, piano mix that you were playing last time I came, or whatever. You never know what's going on in their mind, So, and it prevents you from asking 30 questions as well. Is the music too loud, or the lights too bright? Is the bed too warm, or do you want your knees higher? Is the neck wrap too okay? There's so many questions we can ask. So it prevents you from asking those 30 questions. So obviously that was a little bit more than 5 minutes, but as you can see, it's going to go a lot quicker if you're conversing. So we'll do a little role play. But after the facial, I do ask this question. So after the facial, I just give them a little scalp massage and just say, I hope you enjoyed. Well, I don't really say I hope you enjoyed because I know they enjoyed it. But I will say something like, your skin looks great. What was your favorite part, when I meet them in the hallway with some water? And then I follow it up with this. So, is there anything you would like me to change up for your next appointment? I'd love to see you again for 4 weeks for another facial, but next time we'll add the Marine Mermaid mask, which will help with any future breakouts and make you feel like you don't need to wear makeup. I also put some products in a basket that I recommend for you at the front desk. I have to go get ready for my next appointment, but they can come get me if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you in 4 weeks. So this is a very confident thing to say after a facial. And to be honest, I probably would have been so scared to say this when I first started, and now it just rolls off my tongue because I know I'm great. I know that they are going to see me in 4 weeks. I know if they don't reschedule now, they're not going to see me in 4 weeks because my schedule books up. And even if you're not that busy, fake it till you make it. And confidence, the beautiful thing about confidence is you can snap your fingers and you can do this. So, it's not something that, oh, she's so confident, she's so lucky, she was just born that way. No, I was not. I was a shy girl, and it was something that I really just had to teach myself to step up, that I knew if I wanted to be successful in this industry, I had to be confident, and I had to say things like this to my client. And my goal, I was laser focused. I wanted to be booked out 3 months. I wanted to be the best esthetician in Reno. And I just kind of had to start faking it until I made it, and really just start walking the walk. So I think if you can set those goals for yourself and be laser focused, it's a lot easier. And, think about it. If you were going to see an esthetician that said something like this to you after, you're much more likely to put them a little bit higher up in your mind and assume that they're booked, assume that they're credible. They had no problem saying, see me in 4 weeks. They really want to see me back in 4 weeks, versus the esthetician that just said, how does your skin feel? It was so nice to see you. I hope you come back in and see me. Yeah, we'll have a great rest of your day. And, it's raining out there, so don't get too wet, or all the little silly things that we say when it's like, that doesn't really mean anything. Let's get down to business. Treat it more like a doctor would. I need to see you back in 4 weeks for, to check up on your skin and make sure we're getting those results that you're wanting. So, practice this. I used to talk to myself on the way to work in my car, and it really does work. So the consultation form, it's on the resources page, and it just has these 6 questions typed out for you. So it's really great when you start going through it, and you can just practice it. But I'd much rather have you ask these questions on sitting across from them. I never recommend sitting above them on a chair. You really want to be eye level. And if you can do it in a private place, that's great. If you have to do it in the, reception lounge, it's okay too. So the consultation handout, let's everybody get these handouts out, and I'm just going to go through it quickly. So before the facial, this is something subtle, but if you say something like welcome instead of hello, it's very subtle, but welcome is obviously welcoming, and hello is just a little bit more impersonal. So welcome, I love to say, tell me something new and good. So this is, Karen. Let's say I don't know this client, I'm going to call them from their reception lounge, and I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger for this part. So I'll just say, Karen, oh, hi, I'm Emily. Nice to meet you. I'm going to be doing your facial today. And tell me something new and good. And it forces this person to think about something positive in their life. And for example, when it says over here, not this, I haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been? You can make somebody feel really bad about not getting a facial with you. And I've had this happen, and it's like, oh, then you find yourself making excuses. I had kids, or I've just been busy, or, I was seeing an esthetician down the street, whatever it is. So tell me something new and good, or, what's new and exciting in your world. It forces them to think about something good in their life. I've asked, do you have any fun trips planned? And if they say no, it's kind of a little depressing. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, do you have any fun plans this summer? I've had clients say like, no, not really, just working. Or so tell me something new and good. And I've actually had this happen where a client said, I had 200 of my husband's closest friends and family. We all gathered in a room and celebrated his life a few weeks ago. And I didn't know that her husband had passed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked so bubbly and chirpy, you know, what's new and exciting in your world? I felt horrible, but it forced her to think about something positive at a really crummy, you know, thing that happened. And we both hugged and we both got watery eyes, and the facial experience was, it was, you know, it still was amazing. And she was able to treat herself and relax and take her mind off of things for a little bit. So I think it's important. It forces them to think about something positive in their life, no matter what they're going through. But, you know, I love to say my goal is to exceed your expectations today. In order to do that, I need to ask you a few questions before we start. And this is where you're going to start the consultation, and think about how that sets the tone. My goal today is to exceed your expectations. Can you imagine if somebody said that to you? You know right off the bat that they care about their job, they like what they do, they want to make this a memorable experience. Versus I checked into other spas and the girl isn't smiling. She says, okay, fill out this intake form. You know, the esthetician will be right out. It's like, okay, thank you so much for your help. So let's dive into the questions. So I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker, but why did you decide to have the signature facial today? Again, it's an open-ended question. You are going to get some curveballs, and if you don't get those 2 concerns that you're wanting, you can ask 1A. So what skincare concerns do you have is a lot different than do you have any skin problems or concerns. Do you see the difference? On the right-hand side, it's open-ended questions. On the left-hand side, it's really going to force you to pull out some concerns that they're having. But I love if you can memorize this and have it roll off your tongue. I see so many people spending so much money on things that aren't even right for their skin. So I want you to tell me 2 concerns that you're having so I can customize your facial today, and also see if there's anything you can include in your home care to help you maximize your results. So I have to give credit to Lori Crete. I think I've changed it a tiny bit, but I love her line of, I see so many people spending so much money on things that aren't even right for their skin. How true is this? I mean, we see it all of the time. And as estheticians, we want to say something, but we don't know how. And I love how this line is worded, because it perfectly says, you know, what I'm doing for your skin is really going to give you the results, because I'm able to customize your regimen, and we're really going to get you the results that you're looking for. So you don't want to ask, what skincare products do you use at home, the brand. I ask this in my acne treatments, but if it's just a regular facial, I don't even want to go there. I just like to focus on what I have in my toolbox and how I can help them. I think you can really put somebody down by saying, oh my gosh, you use, you know, such and such product on your skin. That's horrible. It happens to me, and people sometimes don't know that I'm a skincare formulator, and they'll put, you know, my skin down, or, oh my gosh, whatever you're using on your skin is not hydrating enough. I mean, you are just so dehydrated. And it makes me laugh, because you know, I almost don't even hear anything else that they're saying during the experience, because they've instantly lost my credibility. So, but you know, you don't want to ask, are you happy with your skin? What if they say no? Then you're going to be stuck. You don't want to ask, do you want to change anything about your skin? If they say no, again, you're stuck. You don't want to ask, do you like, what products are you using? Because if they say yes, you are stuck. So the part in the asterisk that is on the left-hand side is really important. So a huge missed opportunity is when an esthetician doesn't repeat back what concerns they've heard and how they're going to solve them. So let's say a client says breakouts and pigmentation, and you know in the back of your mind's churning. You're going, okay, well, breakouts, pigmentation, I'm probably going to use, you know, depending on their hydration level, maybe cherry pepper, maybe mint poppy, maybe even blackberry lime, depending on if their breakouts are inflamed or not inflamed. And then your mask, what mask are you going to use? Maybe Rosa-forming if they're congested, maybe papaya pumpkin if they are really just have a compromised barrier, maybe peach and honey if they're a little bit dehydrated. So your mind is just churning already. But if you don't let them know how you're going to solve those concerns, you're missing the boat. And think about it on the end consumer side. You just told them their concerns, and then they go right to question 2A. Okay, so was there anything you want me to, was there anything you liked or didn't like about your last facial that you want me to include or avoid today? Versus if you just put in there a little one-liner of, okay, you're going to repeat back to them, okay, so I'm hearing that you are concerned with breakouts and hyperpigmentation. You can go a little bit further and say, you know, where mainly are you experiencing these breakouts? Where are you experiencing hyperpigmentation that's bothering you? If you want to take it one step further, and then you're going to tell them how you're going to solve that. So, okay, well, with breakouts, it looks like there might be a little inflamed. So I'd recommend doing the Marine Mermaid mask. It's really going to help heal any existing blemishes, any inflammation. It's a cooling mask. And also the cherry pepper, I think, is going to be great because it's great for breakouts, great for pigmentation as well. So I think your skin's really going to benefit from both of those. So see how they're instantly like, oh my gosh, this esthetician knows her ingredients. She knows what she's doing. And, you know, I'm excited. I feel like I'm going to get results out of this versus even though if we know what we're doing, we don't tell them, you're missing a huge opportunity for earning that credibility and, you know, letting them know how you're going to solve those results. So you never want to say things like, when was your last facial? What skin type do you have? I'm going to figure out what skin type they have when I touch their skin. I don't really care when their last facial was unless we're doing a chemical peel or something like that. That's why I love question number 2. Have you had a facial before? And then, like I said before, was there anything you didn't like about it that you want me to include or avoid today? And that's going to, again, give you those, I don't like extractions. If they don't like them, I just say, okay, no problem. You know, I really have a gentle technique that a lot of my clients love and rave about. And they said that they like it much more than other estheticians that they've experienced it with. So if you want, we can try my technique, and if it's uncomfortable, I can stop. Some people are like, okay, that's fine. Or some people are like, no, I'm done, I'm good. So, but kind of just talking them through some of their concerns or things that they liked or didn't like about previous facials is important. So question number 3, do you have any special requests for today's treatment? This again is going to prevent you from asking, do you want the bed warmer on? What kind of music do you like? Do you want steam? Do you like extractions? Do you want the heated booties? So, and then we're going to go to question 4. So I can go over the products that I'm using during your treatment or afterward. What do you prefer? And normally, like I said, I preface it with, I don't normally talk during my facials. I've had multiple consultations where the esthetician or massage therapist has said, do you want to talk during your treatment? I think this is kind of weird. You know, and I find that I've had amazing massages, but the massage therapist was just a little quirky and conversation got weird and it just kind of ruined the whole experience. And then I've had vice versa where I've had like a mediocre massage, but the massage therapist or the esthetician was so cute and I just kind of wanted to be her friend that it was okay. So, you know, it could go either way, but I'd much rather ask them if I don't want to talk, I want to set that precedent, and, you know, we can go over products as I use them, or we can talk about them after. What do you prefer? Question number 5, is there anything you want me to know before we start that might contraindicate your treatment? So again, that open-ended question prevents you from asking all the, you know, front and back, 4-page intake form of, you know, parents' health history. I've seen crazy intake forms. And I think if you're doing more medical-based treatments, lasers, you know, hydrofacials, things like that, there are some important questions to ask. Chemical peels, absolutely. And we do have a chemical peel consultation form that I highly recommend using. It's on the resources page. So this is more for just facials. And after the facial, I'd love to say, your skin looks great. What was your favorite part? This is also strategic. You're going to want to mark that favorite part in their notes. So if they say, oh my gosh, your scalp massage was amazing, you're going to put that a little asterisk, scalp massage. You know, if they say, oh my gosh, my favorite part was that mask. Okay, well, we're definitely upgrading that next time too. So really pay attention to this. It's going to be really important for your charting. Things that you don't want to say are, you know, how did you like it? I get asked this pretty much after every treatment. I think it's just habit, but it kind of sets the tone of, you know, I'm not confident in what I'm offering and there's maybe a chance that you didn't like it. So I love asking, your skin looks amazing. What was your favorite part over how did you like it? Or how did you feel? Or, you know, why would you have a service on your menu that they wouldn't like? So, and then I think you're all done is kind of, I've had multiple treatments where they like just kind of finish the scalp massage and say, okay, you're all done. And you kind of feel like a turkey in the oven, you know, it's like, okay, I guess I'm done. I'm going to hop up. Yeah. So I think thinking of something that's personal and, you know, natural. I it changes with each client and the energy that I'm feeling, but sometimes I just say, you know, thank you for coming and seeing me today. I'm gonna meet you out there with some water. Or your skin looks amazing. You know, it was a pleasure working on you today. Whatever comes, you know, feels natural to you. But I love doing the 3 deep breaths as a close. And I'll just say something, you know, to complete your treatment. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in whenever you're ready. And you have that facial nectar in front of their nose. They can take 3 deep breaths in, 3 cleansing deep breaths in, feeling their stomach rising and falling, and, you know, just kind of bringing awareness to their body. And just kind of like you complete a yoga class. Kind of wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. So whatever experience you can guide them through. But I think as long as it's natural and you can confidently do it, you know, I've had people where you can tell that they're nervous when they're saying, and it doesn't really feel natural. So natural is important, but I'm going to make me small again. So practice makes perfect, and it really is true. This, you know, wasn't something that I just overnight implemented. It was, oh, I like that question, so I'm going to implement that question. Oh, I like that one too. This kind of was a thing that was developed probably over, you know, 5 years of critiquing my consultation and fine-tuning it. And I am so strict with the estheticians that work at my spa, and I'll kind of listen around the corner to the first few that they do, or I'll have my mother-in-law or mom come in and they can kind of practice on them, and I'll sit there and critique it, which I know is super intimidating, but the wording in this is really important. And you really want to do this left side verbatim, because you don't want those open-ended questions. And you'll see it happen, and sometimes I get stuck too, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have asked that, because now I'm stuck. So practice this, and practice on your friends, family, dogs. Practice on yourself on the way to work. Kind of, you can answer how you think your first client is going to answer and go through it. And it will feel really intimidating if you're not used to doing anything like this. I can tell you that. But there's nothing greater than having that first client that rebooks with you, you know, buys all the products that you recommended, and I cannot tell you there's nothing better than when I get that text of, oh my gosh, this really does work. So it really does work, and I can't wait to get the feedback from you all. Send me an email or let your rep know that you like this system and you're implementing it, and let me know about your success. So I love to throw these in here, and when I was teaching this class at the trade shows, I always got these questions, so I decided to just include them in this presentation. So what happens when your clients, at the end, you fill out the recommendation card and hand to them, and they're looking at the products, and they say, oh, you know, this product is too expensive. I love to kind of have a ballpark of, you know, so our cleansers are all in the same price range, toners, and I kind of work it back into per use. And I'll divide that. Okay, well, this product lasts roughly 3 to 4 months if you're using it twice a day. This, and I'll say, well, you know, it seems expensive, but it really is only 50 cents a day when you break it down. Using it twice a day, it should last you 3 to 4 months. And when clients think about it like that, they're like, oh, okay, you're right. You know, this $79 serum doesn't seem as expensive anymore. So it's a great strategy, and I don't think anybody's going to ever fact check you. So if you don't have them memorized and something is wrong, I think it's just fine. Everything is normally under the dollar range for, you know, really when you break this stuff down. So it's really affordable in the grand scheme of things. When clients say, oh, I'm good, I don't need any products today, I like what I'm using, I kind of just go on and kind of ignore what I kind of pretend I don't even hear it, which is, it just works. It does, because I go on to say, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So I have this product here that is going to, for example, I use real products. So the Main Space Hydrating Serum, your skin, you mentioned you were concerned with dehydration. We live in the desert. It's so dry here. So I think this snow mushroom extract, it's a really cool ingredient. It helps bind water to your skin, and it's the #1 selling serum. People rave about it. I literally cannot go without this product. But I think you're really going to benefit from it. It's really going to plump up that epidermis and really give you lasting hydration, especially through this winter months, or, you know, whatever you want to say. So I kind of just pretend like I don't really hear it, and I just say, I focus on those two concerns or maybe more that they gave me at the beginning of the facial and what products I think can really help them. So I can't tell you the amount of times that clients have said, I'm good, I don't really need products. And then we go through the facial or we go through what I recommend for them and they end up buying it and using whatever they had up on their neck and body or, or they give it away or whatever. So never be intimidated by when somebody says, I'm good, I don't need products. You can just kind of still go through your product recommendation form. So this one is a popular question. I'm sure you can fill in the blank. My friend is selling I'll just keep it general, a multi-level marketing skincare company. So how many of us have, not only experienced this, but probably been tried to be sold to? And, nothing against multi-level marketing companies. I think they have a place in the industry, but I love to combat that with, well, the problem with multi-level marketing companies is they spend a lot of their money on marketing dollars and not a lot of money on ingredients that are going to give you the results. So that's one of the biggest differences between over-the-counter, department store, multi-level marketing products versus professional. Professional, you're going to see they're all pH balanced. They are going to have really active ingredients. They're going to say, what they're going to do, and they are going to deliver results. And they're not loaded with fillers. There's a ton of cheap fillers in these multi-level marketing products. And, a lot of them, they kind of feel good on the surface. And that is because they're loaded with ingredients that kind of feel good on the surface, but don't really penetrate deeper to do anything that you really want to see a change in your skin. So that was a long answer. You can shorten it up, but pull bits and pieces of what I just said and work it in because you will get that question. I get it all the time. So I love this question, and I can credit Lori Crete again for teaching me this. So what results are you looking for? I used it a ton, just not only you can use it in your reception area, you can use it on the phone when booking appointments, you can use it when you're picking up your daughter at daycare, you can use it at the grocery store, you can use it when trying to upgrade facials, selling product. So I'll give you some examples. So I was picking up my daughter from daycare and a mom walked up to me and was like, "Oh, I heard you're an esthetician. I was thinking about getting a chemical peel. Do you do them?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I do." And I could have gone into, because she said, "What do they do for your skin?" And I could have gone into, well, they're, people I think shoot themselves in the foot when they get really technical here. And they're like, "Oh, well, they're a pH balance of 2.8, and they, create a wound reaction on the skin, and it speeds up your healing process, and it helps just shed layers and bring out new skin." And all, you're kind of losing them. Like I charge $75 for one layer, $125 for 2 layers. We have a post-peel kit, recommend doing a series of 6 depending on your results, and you can spit out a lot of information at them. And it feels like I'm selling. It just feels kind of not natural. It feels like I'm desperate, like I really need her to come to me. Like you need to book this with me. Versus I love when she says, what do chemical peels really do? I say, well, what results are you looking for? And then she'll customize them. Like, well, I have some pigmentation over here, and I'm just looking a little dull lately. That's exactly what she said. And so I customized it, and I just said, oh my gosh, well, our peel has an ingredient called hydroquinone that is going to instantly brighten up your complexion, even out skin tone, and it really does help shed your skin like a snake, and it just reveals fresh, new, healthy skin. So it's definitely something that you want to customize your pitch to. I'll never forget when I was a newer esthetician, I was at a party and a girl walked up to me and said, "Oh, I heard you're an esthetician. Why do people get facials?" And I talked at her, not to her. And I said all these things of, a laundry list of things. And I totally lost her. I walked up to my husband and I was like, "Well, I don't think that lady's coming to me." It felt salesy. I felt desperate. It was kind of a bummer. But had I responded with, what results are you looking for? I could have easily customized my pitch to her concerns. So that problem solution approach again. So another example, when somebody calls and says, "Oh, I'd like to book a facial." Okay, wonderful. What facial do you want to book? What results are you looking for? And this is going to save you a lot of airtime, a lot of breaths. you can instantly recommend what facial after you pull out those concerns. So definitely have, if you answer your phones or if you have a receptionist, teach them this. It works in all, massages, nails, chemical peels, hydrofacial. It makes it really easy to upgrade. If they give you the results, you can easily solve their problem with a solution. I was at the grocery store and I forgot what I had my little smock on, and a lady said, oh, what's Lime Spa? And I said, oh, it's my spa, oh, what do you do there? And I told her a few things, and she said, oh, do you do spray tanning? And I said, yeah, I do. And she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, well, I've been wanting to get a spray tan, but I had one a few years ago and it was really bad. Tell me about your spray tans. And so I could have gone into, our solution and how all the great things about it and how it's organic and it uses, a sugar-derived DHA and it's non-toxic, yada, yada, yada. But instead she didn't care about ingredients. So I asked her, what results are you looking for? And she's like, oh, I just don't want to be orange. I just, and so I then, said, well, we have this awesome solution. It's a purple base. It's great for people with pale skin like me. I didn't say like you. I said, I have pale skin. So it really helps to, orange solutions tend to pull greens. And it's a green base. Even if you see like an orange, like a tanning solution go bad, it turns green. Whereas they have purple undertone bases, and it can help pull brown for a paler skin type. So once I said that to her, she was sold. She booked the appointment, and so this question can really help you if you are in the reception area. And let's say a client says, oh, I'm looking for a moisturizer. Tell me about your moisturizers. Rather than telling them about our Daily Greens moisturizer has this and this, it does this and this, blueberry milk, yada, 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 the balm, facial nectar, you can respond back with what results are you looking for. Excuse me. And it's going to save you a lot of airtime. You're going to not lose them, and you're going to really hyper-focus on how you can solve their results. So use this question, circle it, write it down, put it in your phone notes. It really does work. So a summary of the presentation, we covered a lot, but I think the most important thing is to remember to ask those open-ended questions that don't lead to a no answer. Study your products. Study 2 ingredients of every single product, and that is why we have the Sorella quiz in the back. It's definitely helpful, but you really want to take it one step further and use our shelf talkers. I don't have a set next to me, but you can use this as flashcards. So put them on a little ring and use them as flashcards. We have a partner, Sugar and Hive. I love this. She took her team out to dinner and she made it super fun. And she had everybody fill out the Sorella quiz, and then she had them go around and she would say, okay, who can name 2 ingredients in this product? Who can name 2 ingredients in this product? And I think it was just, she said more than, testing them and quizzing them and making it a high pressure situation, it made them realize how little they didn't know. So I think it's really important. I have all my estheticians memorize 2 ingredients and their function of every single product. And with our training booklet, it makes it super easy as a study guide. Watch the new account training on the resources page. If you've been using Sorella for, a year, it's a great refresher. You're going to hear something that maybe you didn't hear the first time through, or if you have a product sitting on your shelf, I can guarantee if you start to learn 2 ingredients and their function of that product, you're going to just feel that much more confident when you recommend that product to a client. You're going to instantly establish credibility with them. I find that once you can do this, they stop asking these little questions of, because they trust you. They trust your judgment. And then finally, believe in yourself and your products. If you have some product lines out there that, let's say you carry Sorella and another line and you just can't get behind that other line, it's probably not going to sell. And that's because you don't believe in it. And clients see right through that, I can promise you. If you're working at a place where you have goals that you have to hit and it feels a little desperate to sell products, you'll probably find that those ones just don't sell because you don't believe in them. So it's really important, and there's no better way to build confidence and believe in your products than studying. So make sure you know Sorella inside and out, and 2 ingredients and their function, and your products are going to start flying off your shelf, I promise. So I hope you enjoyed this training. And there's a picture of Danielle and I. Danielle is my sister-in-law, for those of you that don't know, and she has an amazing training, the social media, marketing through social media. Same thing, we've had accounts just write in and give us feedback that they learn so much, and it really helps getting people in their door when they do these strategies that she's teaching. So we love our products, and a lot of, science and just passion went into creating the line, but just as much passion goes into wanting you guys to be successful. And that's why we do all of these trainings. And we both feel like we have so much to give the industry. And, that's really, we hope that you are enjoying these. And if you have other topics that you want us to talk about, just let us know. But thank you for partnering with Sorella, and we are grateful for you. Thank you.